Hey guys, what's going on? It's been a little while since my last video. I think it's been about 6 months. I have some more stuff to cover, or will have some more stuff to cover in the coming weeks and months. So you can expect some new uploads here and there as I get some stuff in. So right now, I made a post about this. The very last thing I put up on the channel was a post about this. This is GMK TERA DRIVE, these keycaps. They're pretty nice. I uploaded a picture of the box when I finally got them, after having waited like a year. But the box was just like, it looked just like a Sega Tera Drive box, so there was really no indication that it was a box of GMK keycaps. So I uploaded a picture of that and nobody knew what it was. I don't think so. But anyways, this is what it was. It's a GMK Tera Drive. It is a keycap set that's modeled after the old Sega Tera Drive, which was like a Sega gaming PC, I believe, type of thing. It might have been a console. I don't really know. But it had a keyboard, which I think was, I can't remember if it was IBM or if it was Alps. I think it was Alps. And it used Alps buckling springs, which obviously the buckling springs are an IBM thing, but Alps made their own. At one point, Carlos Ryan has a video on all of this stuff on buckling springs, pretty much every type of buckling springs, and he also has a video on an actual Tera Drive keyboard. My understanding is that the sound is more interesting than a Alps buckling springs kind of sound neater than IBM buckling springs. They have kind of more of a metallic clunk sound to them, but they don't feel quite as good. It's kind of what Kairos Rand said in his video. But of course, this has nothing to do with either of those. The keycaps on those Sega Tera Drive keyboards looked like these keycaps. So that's why. And I saw that video a long time ago, Carlos Rand's Sega Tera Drive video, and I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. And then when I found out about these keycaps, I don't even know how I found out about them, but I saw they were being made, and so I thought, you know what, I'll get these. Get a nice GMK set to use on some nice keyboards that I have coming up eventually in the future, one day. But I still don't have the keyboards, but I at least do have the keycaps. So, this will be mostly a review of kind of GMK as a whole. This is the first and only GMK set that I've used in person, and I don't, so I can't really attest to, I don't know if you can hear that police siren, but I can't exactly attest to any other GMK sets, like, GMK Carbon or Laser or anything like that, but I would imagine they're pretty similar. Yeah, let's get into it. First big elephant in the room, keycap shine. I have been using these for, we'll call it 6 months. I don't know exactly. I probably should have checked before I started filming. You can compare if you really want, you can compare the dates of when I made that post of the picture of the box to when the date of this video goes up. I'll probably put it in the description too. But I'm pretty sure it's been around 5-6 months, maybe 7, but I think probably around 6. And I have been using them literally every day at work. I have a new job where I go into the office, so I only have one keyboard there, so I use this pretty much exclusively at work. And there has been, at first I didn't think there was any real shine, of course, apart from the space bar, which you can just see. But if you get really up close, you can kind of see, let's get in focus. I don't even know if you could see it, but if you compare the numbers to the letters, obviously I type on the letters a lot more than I do the numbers. So there is a very ever so slight difference. Now when it comes to the space bar, I honestly think the space bar might have had the shine before. Okay, don't look at that. I feel like the spacebar might have been shined, like kind of pre-shined, not pre-shined, but pre-shined. But as I type, that is where my thumb pretty much always hits when I press the spacebar in between words. So, I mean, I guess it's, you know, having it be only in that one spot does kind of actually make it look a little shitty, but you know, what are you gonna do? I don't really feel it. Like this compared to this, there's not a huge amount of difference, and it's not like the thing I always get worried about is like, are they gonna feel slippery or anything? Are they gonna have that like kind of greasy feel? But no, this is fine. So you know, I guess we can take a look at some individual keys. Let's see if we can notice any discernible difference. Okay. I mean, I guess just based off of the lighting, you could see a little bit more texture on the 5 key than the R key. Yeah, you could just see a tiny bit of reflection on the R key, whereas there's not really much on the 5. But I honestly didn't notice this. As I was getting ready to film this video, I was thinking in my head, like, I'll just say that there's basically no shine, because I don't think there is any shine actually. But now and there, but I took a much closer look at it right before I started filming, and I did notice that there is a bit. So if you, I mean, yeah, I can feel a difference. It doesn't really, like, it's not a huge difference. It's probably like probably like 10% of a difference feel wise, as far as like how smooth they feel. And these don't, even though these are ever so slightly shined, they don't feel bad. They just are a little bit smoother than the numbers, which, I mean, I also do use the numbers. It's not like I don't ever use the numbers. But you know, that's kind of my 6-month report on the shine of these keycaps. I think as time goes on, if you know, 6 months, a year from now, I notice that they are significantly shinier, I will probably post an update. But you know, the whole shine, it's a big controversy. It's kind of the biggest point of contention when it comes to GMK. I mean, you guys probably already know about all this, but some people think that it's like you should never use GMK because they'll eventually shine, and you don't want that. Other people, like Teo Types, I believe have said that, like, he essentially views shine as a feature. He thinks that shine is like, that means the keyboard is well worn, and it's kind of like, you know, they're like love stains. That's a bad way to put it, but yeah, they're like he looks at shine as love stains on the keyboard. So I mean, I don't really have any strong feelings one way or the other, to be honest. Like, these would need to be really shiny for me to even really notice them, and from there, if I even did notice them, I don't know if it would actually be a problem to me. I feel like most people that complain about stuff like shine haven't actually used a GMK set, so it's really all just speculation. And it's not exactly easy to get GMK sets. I mean, I think you can still get them on Drop, if Drop's even like really around. I believe, as I recall, Drop was acquired by Corsair or some gaming company. So I mean, we're not really, who knows what's going to end up happening. But for a period of time, you could buy, you know, in stock GMK sets from Drop before the keyboard market kind of imploded on itself in I don't know, I think 2022. I think it's kind of when keyboards started to drop off. Which is, I mean, it was bound to happen. No market for any product is going to be at the soaring highs of 2020 forever. That's just not sustainable. Growth like that will never be able to be 100%, you know, sustainable. It'll always end at some point, and I don't think that's a bad thing. It's just kind of the way things are, and it sucks for a lot of companies who started during the peak of the keyboard market, and then they ended up having to close down because As the market contracted, they couldn't keep up. Like, I got these keys from... Shit, where did I get them from? What the hell is that? What the hell is that place called? Anyways, the place that I got these from, the vendor that I got these from, they used to be literally 5 minutes away from my house. They had a location where they were based out of. I think they shipped their U.S. orders out of there. Or, well, they were a U.S. only vendor, and they shipped all their stuff out of there. And you could also do in local pickups, which I did. I picked up some black inks from there. In fact, I picked up the black inks that are in this keyboard from them. And I was excited to be able to pick up these keycaps right down the street from my house whenever they were ready. But it took so long for them to be ready that by the time that they were ready, the vendor had moved to a different city. They had moved from Westminster, California to Anaheim, California, and which I believe they still are. Or maybe it was Orange. I can't remember. If you know if you know Southern California, those three cities are all pretty close together, anyways. But yeah, I had to drive actually not far. I had to drive about 30 minutes to get these when they finally were ready for pickup. But 30 minutes beats, you know, a week for shipping or however long it would have taken. So I kind of forget what where I was going with that. But anyways, shine. I guess just the last few points on shine. So yeah, if you put it in this light, you can kind of see the reflections. Less reflections on the numbers, but then it's kind of like, is that even like, might that be just because the numbers have more sub-legends on them? They have 4. Some of them have 4 things on them as opposed to just 2 on the letters. I really don't know. I'm not sure. I don't really press the mods as much, so... Oh, actually, you could see a little shine on the control key there. I think, like, shine, when it comes to shine, as long as it's even, as long as the look of anything really is even and consistent, it's not gonna look bad. It's just when it's like really, when there are like patches like this, if I'm honest, this looks bad. This actually looks bad. But what are you gonna do? I guess I could try to use a PBT spacebar, but like, why? Why should I have to do that? You know, but you only notice it in the right light anyways, so it's all good. But shine, it is a thing. Whether or not it's a good thing or a bad thing, that's kind of subjective to me. I'm still kind of undecided. I don't think it's like, I don't think I will ever be in the camp that's like, oh, shine is fucking horrible, unacceptable. You know, you should never buy GMK because it's fucking bullshit. I don't think I'll ever be in one of those camps, but I may end up not loving the way that the keycaps feel if they get too slippery. But I'm not like a sweaty palm kind of guy. I don't have the issue of like my hands sweating whenever I touch stuff. Really, so that just may not apply to me. But you know, shine, it is a thing, not necessarily a bad thing though. That's just something to keep in mind. Okay, so how do the keycaps actually feel when you're typing on them? They actually feel very good. It's hard to describe, but they're just really crisp and like clean feeling and sounding, but we'll get to sound later. There's just like the corners of the keys, the edges, they're all just really clean and crisp. There's no rounded mushiness or anything. It all just feels good. And I haven't really looked at these super closely, but I mean, when you look at PBT sets or whatever, there's like a subtle crookedness of a lot of keys in most PBT sets that kind of tends to jump out at you just immediately when you look at it. But these lines, I don't know, man, they look pretty clean, pretty straight. Yeah, that's there's effectively like 0 warpage on any of these keys, which is kind of the point. Even the spacebar, I believe, is quite clean and crisp. Yeah, I mean, there might be, it looks like there might be a very slight curve like right here, but this is miles better than any other PBT. In fact, I don't have a cheapo PBT spacebar on hand, but I have this this one from my MT3 set. Let's just do a little comparison. Okay, this is actually, as I recall, this spacebar is pretty good too. This is very difficult, actually. Okay, so well that's our like reference, looking pretty straight. How about this? This is really okay. I mean, this is actually a pretty decent spacebar. I don't think I have another. I don't think I have another one that's like within arm's reach. So okay, that's the only comparison I can make at the moment, unfortunately. But I guess while we're here, let's grab a key, do a little key comparison. We'll do fine. We'll do that too. Okay. So comparing the numbers, which are the non-shined. I mean, I feel like I've featured these MT3 keycaps in many videos. So you guys, longtime viewers, will understand how old these are and how much use I've actually put on them. But these have even more texture than the GMK do, so they're still not smooth. And then, of course, it's a lighter color, so the reflectiveness doesn't really pick up. This is a horrible comparison. You can see the shine on the R. Can't really see any shine on the R. How feel-wise, though, how about? Okay, so this key is definitely smoother than this key. So it's the same, but it does have more texture than the GMK one. Okay. Well, there you go. That's a little comparison there. Let's see. Can we see the any warpage in these? I mean, maybe I can't, like, there might be a tiny bit of warp. These are PBT, I think. Yeah, they're PBT. They're about the same. Okay, so so MT3 PBT caps from Drop. They're pretty straight. They got some pretty clean lines as well. However, these have more of it. They're just kind of they have like a rounded kind of look and feel to them overall. But they definitely, the edges are, more rounded and less sharp edges and corners. These have. It's not really necessarily that one's better than the other. It's just that these are very sharp and very clean edges and corners, and I think it feels pretty good as you're typing them. Like you feel your fingers hit different parts on the keys each time you press them, and you feel those different kind of corners and edges, and it just feels nice, And so yeah, this is all subjective, and not. Most people will probably tell you it's not worth the $120 or whatever that you have to spend just to get a little bit straighter lines and cleaner corners and edges. But if you want that, this is probably the best way to go about it. If you want to have a perfect keycap set for an expensive keyboard, like if you're spending $500 on a keyboard, you might as well spend $100 on a keycap set. Like, why would you want to put a $20 $20 cheapo set on an expensive ass keyboard. However, people, I guess like myself, who are running these 120, I think these I had to get a full set of these with numpad and everything. I think these were like 135. Oh, shit, shut up. I think these were like 135, and which is a lot more than the keyboard cost. The keyboard was $95. So I wouldn't exactly recommend doing that, being the guy who has keycaps that cost more than his keyboard. But if you do have an expensive keyboard, then I'd say GMK caps are, you know, a good option, and they will be worthy of putting on your best boards. If you want, like, of course, it doesn't really matter. Like, if you want to use a less expensive set, go right ahead. That's not gonna, you know. And I mean, it's not like these MT3 caps. These were also $120, $130. So they're it's kind of more of the price barrier as far as the quality goes. But the quality is there. As to whether or not the value is there, i.e. whether or not the quality is worth the price you have to pay, that is also subjective. For the average, for like a normie, no, fuck no. But if you're a full-on keyboard guy, if you're a keyboard, then, you know, yeah, why not? Okay, so how do they sound? They sound good. They sound clean and crisp, just like the look. They're kind of high-pitched, despite the fact that these are ink blacks in the letters. They're not high-pitched. Like, I mean, it's kind of clacky, but since they're ink blacks, there's like kind of a deeper undertone to it. And just because of the way that the GMK is shaped, they're much shorter than a typical, like a cherry profile compared to MT3 profile, SA profile, or even OEM profile. They're going to be short. I think basically every type of keycap other than DSA are like completely flat. There's no sculpt, and it's basically like typing on a laptop. DSA. I think those are good. Those are going to. I've had one DSA set in the past which I didn't like, so I returned it. But those are pretty short too. But I mean, if you compare these two keys, WVW, you could see the height difference there. And just from an acoustic standpoint, there's more room for the sound to bounce around in the taller caps, so they just produce kind of a slightly louder and generally a more deep, oh shit, sorry, a more deep kind of sound profile. All right, let's get this all back. There we go. So if you're really looking for thok, I would probably recommend not using cherry profile. However, due to that lower height, they are more comfortable to type on, to use, you know, typing, gaming, all that stuff. Just because, you know, if you're playing, you know, FPS, you're doing a lot of this. This is more comfortable, as opposed to you'd be like more up. This is an exaggeration, but you'd be up here on the taller keycaps, and having your wrist cocked like that for you know, hours at a time, that does start to hurt. At least me. I think it hurts everybody, but most people just don't realize it. They're just used to that kind of feeling. So, but once you kind of become aware of it, you're just like, oh damn, I need some shorter stuff. That's why, of course, I like to use a wrist rest, because that will physically elevate your wrist. So that way, you know, rather than being like that, you'll be more like that. And I use it for both typing and gaming, for that reason. Of course, if you want to type with floating hands, I can type with floating hands, but I don't have as much practice in that position, so I'm not as good, and there's a lot more room for error because you're not as stable. And gaming, you're not going to do floating hands when gaming. That's bullshit. I don't think anyone does floating hands while gaming, and if they do, if they tell you that, they're probably lying, because that's bullshit. The feel, as far as like ergonomics, I think these are good. I believe Types in the past has said that cherry profile is good for actual use, whereas something like SA is kind of, you know, just purely a cosmetic. So someone's either laying on their car horn or their car alarm's going off. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but so I agree with all that. The shorter profile does make it more comfortable to type on and use for long, extended durations. So if you ever find yourself with pain in this part of your wrist, then cherry profile is not a bad option. DSA would, I guess, be even better, but that's kind of DSA. It takes a while to get used to DSA, and I didn't like it personally. But okay. So we talked about sound. They're good. They're clean and crisp. They're a little higher pitched than some people might like, but you know, whatever. I would say I wouldn't call these like overly high pitched, other than the spacebar. The spacebar kind of has a like snapping your fingers. Kind of got a loud snappy crack. Kind of got a lot of cracking kind of sound, which I don't mind it. But so I do use these in the office, and these keys, I don't think there's any problem with these being too loud. Sometimes when I'm typing, like, I do feel like the spacebar might be kind of loud, but no one said anything, so I think it'll be all good. This is specific to this set and any other set that has Japanese sub-legends, but if you don't want normies coming up to you and being like, "Oh, do you speak Japanese?" You then you know, just get plain letters. Don't get or even blanks, but don't get. I've had multiple people ask me like, "Oh, do you speak Japanese?" Like, no, they just look cool, and then they give me that weird look. This is more about the keyboard, but I've had a bunch of people also be like, "Oh, that's really." Some people are like, "Oh, that's really cool," you know. But then other people are like, "What the fuck is this fucking shit? You know? Why is it so small? Where'd you get this?" And like, "Oh yeah, I brought it. This is mine. I brought it from home." You know? And at one point, a guy from IT had to come over to my desk to help like set up some printer or something, and he was trying to use my keyboard. And he's like, at first he was like, "Oh, dude, that's so sick, dude." But then he was like, "Wait a minute, where's the backslash?" Which is here, which would normally be here, but I use this as a backspace. This is also a backspace, but I also use this. I mean, they're both clearly labeled. And I was like, "Oh, you just have to, this is a function key, so you just have to, I put it on function backspace, so you hold it when the light lights up, then you press it. And there's your backslash, but he just, I don't know, he couldn't figure it out, and I had to plug in a different keyboard for him to do the thing he needed. But that's just like a specific to this exact setup issue. So yeah, if you don't want people asking you about your Weeb keyboards, don't use a Weeb key set, I guess. So yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot more to talk about, honestly. They're just keycaps, and it's just a kind of overall theme of keycaps. You know, a brand. This is what most. I have to assume that this is what all GMK keycaps are gonna more or less be like. Like I said, I've been using them every day. You know, 40 plus hours a week at work, and not a ton of shine apart from the spacebar, but I mean, I don't know, I guess I could like flip the spacebar to shine the other side if I wanted to, but it doesn't really bother me. I mean, I guess I you know, the spacebar is bad, Like that does honestly look kind of bad, but it's not. It doesn't like ruin it or anything. So yeah, I've been using them every day. Profile is good. Shorter keys, they're more comfortable. They're a little high pitched, but the shorter height makes them more comfortable to use in long sessions. You don't have to bend your wrists as much. Oh, the scoops versus bumps. These keycaps, these ones also have scoops. Like the dip is deeper on the F and J keys, which I mean obviously you need that, but it doesn't really make a difference to me whether they put a deeper scoop or just a bump, like they do on other caps. But it's just more so, I think it's just their way of like, oh, we're just being cool and different. And feel wise, I mean, you do feel it when you're getting ready to, when you're putting your hands ready, but it doesn't really make any difference. I think they make a slightly different sound. Okay, these two keys sound exactly the same. I feel like the differences in sound, like the problem is that they're also in different parts of the keyboard, so they just sound different inherently. But I feel like there is an ever so slightly different sound that they make due to the slightly different shape, but you know, it doesn't really make a huge difference. As long as it's not like Sarah keys where there are neither scoops nor bumps, and you're just typing blind essentially, and that's fine. I think that will be it for the review portion of this video. I'll do a little sound test just for good measure. This is just, these are black inks. I've done multiple black ink sound tests in the past. You can compare them with other keycap sets if you want, based off of the sound tests on the channel. But I'll just do a sound test to give you an idea what they feel and sound like, and or I guess just what they sound like. But and then I do have a couple of monkey types to turn in. I think only like 3. I did a mass turn in like last week. Not thinking that I was gonna be recording any videos for any time soon, but I ended up having some time this week, so all good though. All right, so this will be we'll do a 15-second, then a 60-second. And then I'll give you guys screen view just for fun. All right. Oh, wait. Look at that. Speaking of shine, look at that. The fuck. All right. Fuck. Oh, wait. I don't have my wrist rest. I was just talking about how I need a wrist rest, and I don't have one. Okay, now we're ready. Okay, that was not great, but could have been worse. That was 15-second, 124. It was, I guess, 14th place, though, on the leaderboard. Here, let me, why is it still cut off? What the fuck? Okay. Ignore my messy desk. Okay, we'll do a 60-second now. Mouse click. Okay. 108 and 1/8. I mean, honestly, that could have been worse, but it could have been a lot better too. Okay, let's do one more with screen view. Damn it. All right, mouse click. What? Okay, all right. Now mouse click. Okay, come on. All right, one last time. Okay, it's because it's not my fault. The fucking screen is doing the fucking shit. All right. Wow, that was really bad. Okay, all right. We'll do a no reset run. Mouse click. All right, come on. We got. It's because of the tripod. All right. That was terrible. Oh well. All right, let me turn in the shit, and I guess I could give. I intentionally saved all my life update shit for the end of the video, just because nobody wants to hear about me talk about. They just want to, get to the keyboard. All right, so we got 4, 726, 548, 930, 993, 956. All right, we'll just go ahead and claim it. I don't know how. What? Okay, I guess I've already claimed these. Oh yeah, that's why I mass claimed everything, because you can only have 25 at once in here. So I think I was losing out on XP, but that is 52. Oh no. Okay, 52.96. You can see it. But all right, yeah, that's it for GMK. Overall, they're good under the right. They're good for the right person. An average person, I wouldn't recommend getting these, but if you have a really expensive keyboard, you might as well get some really fucking expensive fucking keycaps. All right, but yeah, so I can't promise that I'm gonna be uploading a whole lot anymore, really, at all. I do have 2 more keyboards coming. One of them should be coming soon, actually, and I will make videos on both of those keyboards when they get here. I don't know if I'm going to like record the build process or anything. I was considering streaming the build, but I don't know if I'll have time to do that, frankly. But you can expect, at the very minimum, 2 more videos for this channel. And, I'll probably post updates on the GMK, on how the shine comes in over the years, maybe a year from now or a year from whenever I got them. And any other new or interesting things that come up in the keyboard world, I end up getting, I'll probably cover them at some point, just because it's fun. So yeah, I mentioned I started a new job. When I first made this channel, I was working a fully online remote job where I didn't I had a lot of, let's just say I had a lot of free time. I pretty much, I was honestly working like maybe 2 or 3 hours a day, and the rest of the time was just kind of fucking around and acting busy. So that's when I kind of took upon myself to make all these keyboard videos, because that was really what was occupying my attention at the time, and none of my friends really understood the full power of mechanical keyboards, so I just figured, and then also, you know, the keyboard stuff that I was into at the time, like Zeal clickies, there was no real coverage on them, of them on YouTube, so anything that wasn't sponsored anyways by Zeal, so that's why I have been kind of making videos on stuff. I try to make videos on stuff that isn't already being covered, but of course that's not really possible. But I do. So you know, I am working a real job with real hours, so I have a lot less time to make stuff like this. You know, I don't know if any of you are subscribed to my gaming channel, but gaming channel is probably not ever gonna come back. I still have been playing games, but I just don't have time to record stuff like that anymore. I did get through quite a few games on that channel. If you want, I played through like Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, 4, plus the remake of 4, Dead Space 1 and 2, the remake of Dead Space 1, Callisto Protocol, Scorn, Doom Eternal. Play a lot of games on there, you know, so there is some footage on there if anyone's interested, but that will probably just sit for now. If I end up ever having a bunch of spare time in the future, I may get back to that, but as of right now, YouTube will kind of not really be on hiatus. Yeah, it will be on hiatus, actually. But next video, actually, no, I have at least bare minimum 3 videos coming. I should have a Cycle 7 keyboard coming very soon. That's supposed to be shipping, like, I believe next week, if it hasn't already shipped. So I should have that. I have a Rama M60B coming someday that I'm pretty confident that I didn't get scammed by Rama, because they're a legit company, but I don't think that keyboard... I will be very pleased if that keyboard arrives this year, 2024. Let's put it that way. And as far as my new job goes, it's an accounting job, so I do type a lot of numbers, and I'm pretty good at typing numbers like this if both my hands are already on the keys, but a lot of times you'll end up holding a piece of paper or whatever, and you'll be typing a number off of that, and that is kind of not ideal to have to use these top rows. So I am going to be getting a external numpad. I put it on my birthday list just to see if any of my family will get me one for my birthday, and if I don't, my birthday's in like 2 weeks. If I don't get it, then I'll just buy one myself, and I'll probably cover that in some fashion. Not necessarily cover the numpad itself, but just kind of the concept of using a numpad in conjunction with a 60%. Because I don't like using a full-size keyboard and having the numpad here, and then your mouse hand is all the way over here, all the way over here, all the way over here, and that just, you can't see, but the way that my shoulder is right now, it just hurts my shoulder, and after several hours of continuous use, and the same goes for, like, you know, having the control key here. I love having the control or command key here. I cannot do this. Like, this hurts my pinky a lot. Like, I don't understand. Everyone in my office just uses a normal keyboard, and they're like getting all this fucking shit like that, and it just looks painful. I don't know. I think that the only reason people don't you know, get keyboards like this because they don't know, and they're not aware that, like, oh, actually my hand and wrist do hurt. I simply live with the pain. But all right, 45 minutes. I think that's probably enough. GMK, is it worth? Probably not. But if you're serious about keyboards, then it is. It is worth to the select few with a high enough power level that you know, if the idea of spending $120 on a keycap set